Konnichiwa! It's special times here on In Gear. This week we travel all the way to Japan to check out the Tokyo Motor Show and UD trucks. From how the trucks are made to actually driving it. We hope you enjoy the show. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Hey guys, this is definitely going to be an interesting one. We are here in Ageo. It's about an hour north of Tokyo. And what we're doing here is we are going to be checking out how trucks are made. Where? Well, we are here, as you can see, at the home of UD Trucks. Now, UD Trucks is a company which is owned by the Volvo Group, but it's a Japanese truck maker. So what you're getting over here, Japanese technology, European advancement. And this plant is state of the art. So let's go and check out how things are put together. So basically, here's the plan. There are three main chassis lines here in the UD Trucks plant, and we'll be looking at them one at a time. The first line is the chassis assembly line. And this line, well, just a little bit of information about it. It's 370 meters long, and it is shaped like an L. Now, on this line, everything with regards to the chassis and everything that goes onto the chassis is done here on this line. And it is applied in such a way that it can work for all different types of chassis, regardless of it being a 2x4, 4x2 axle, or 4x4, or even a 4x6. It doesn't matter if the end product is a long truck or a short truck, all the chassis are done here. And this chassis line caters for the needs for the medium to heavy duty truck range. And we're going to have a closer look at what goes on here at the chassis line. Okay, the second assembly line is the engine assembly line. It is separate from the chassis assembly line. Now, what makes it different? Well, it sits in a room on its own, and the unique thing about this room is that the air pressure within the engine assembly line room is kept positive at all times, different from the air pressure outside. And this room, you could think of it as a clean room of sorts, because you want to have optimum conditions and situations for you to assemble an engine as efficiently as possible. Now, more information about the engine assembly line. It's 190 meters long. Now, of this entire length, 70% of it is robotics. So you've got robots moving around doing the work that people used to do back in the day. Now, however, that does not negate the need for personnel to be part of this particular line. We have about 90 people working on this line, and this is in totality. It includes the people who's actually doing stuff to the engine to the people who's in charge of logistics for the engine. Now, once the entire engine is assembled, this will then be put out onto the chassis line, where the two will marry. Now, you can call this the marriage. That's a little bit about the engine chassis line. Okay, so the last assembly line is the one that's going to be most tactile and most recognized by you and I, which is the cab assembly line. What's the cab? Well, that part over there of the, you call it the kapala lori, the head of the truck is the cab, and the assembly line is also here. Now, it spans 80 meters long, and here are some interesting bits about the cab assembly line. Now, the four major things that they do with the cab over here is that the panels for the cab is pressed here, and then they're welded together here as well. Thirdly, the entire process, or rather all the different bits and pieces, are assembled here at the assembly line. And fourthly, it is painted here as well. Now, why is it important to highlight painting? Because, of course, like passenger cars, for trucks, it is also down to your specification and the way you book your trucks. Now, if you want your truck to be magenta in color, I'm sure it's very doable by the guys here in UD Trucks. It just depends on how you wish to specify what you want your cab to look like. Now, after all that is done, it is then put onto the chassis assembly line where they will marry the two. Second marriage. So the first marriage was for the engine and the chassis, and the second marriage is for the chassis engine with the cab. The range that they do here in this particular Ageo plant is the medium to heavy duty truck range. This plant has been running since 1964 here in Ageo, and now with UD Trucks being part of the Volvo Group, what you see here is a state-of-the-art plant that offers the best of technologies from Japan as well as Europe. Now this is UD Trucks' home, and the plan is to expand the market not only to other parts of Southeast Asia, but who knows, in other growth parts of the world.